So today I want to discuss that the crypto market is stronger than the macro market currently. I'm Ash and welcome to the channel. If you're new around here, please leave a like and also subscribe if you like my content. However, if you've not yet done so, leave me a comment. I want to know, are you bullish or bearish? So over the last 8 weeks, cryptocurrency has been performing at a much better standard than obviously gold and the dollar. The dollar has bounced. I think this is bullish and I'm going to explain in this video why. I'm also going to let you into a little secret on how to stay in the market for longer and how to keep out of the market longer as well, especially in a bear market. It's hugely important. This is something I talk about on my Patreon quite a lot. It's about dominance. I've changed a few things on it, but I want to explain more details about it in this video so you understand it. But most importantly, if you've not yet checked out Patreon, there's a link below. So in today's video, I am going to go over cryptocurrency news. Why? Essentially, the SEC have called out Bitcoin as the only non-security. The IMF potentially seeking to regulate instead of banning cryptocurrency. And also, is Ripple just going to lose its lawsuit against the SEC? It might be a rigged system after all. But now I'm going to go over to the screen. I'm going to share said secret. I'm going to go over some TA on BTC, some dollar stuff, and also on gold. So, without further ado, let's go. So, here we go. We're going to start with the macro. We're going to keep it simple because there's not much happening this week, which is good, right? However, PMI China could affect the dollar. We've also got CPI in the Eurozone, which could also affect the dollar. The dollar is going to be important in this video, so bear with me on that. Now, the fundamentals are simple. A quiet week, less volatility, hopefully not going to stir much trouble. BTC, though, has kind of decoupled away from that a little bit. It's been holding up well, which we will explain in a bit. But yeah, not a bad week. However, Mr. Gensler is ruffling people up the wrong way at the minute. He has said in a recent interview that pretty much every sort of crypto transaction falls into the SEC's jurisdiction, except for spot transactions in Bitcoin itself. Bitcoin is one thing versus what, 3 million coins these days? It feels like it. There's about 40,000 coins literally in circulation right now. Probably about 99% of them are rubbish, right? But you get the idea. There's a lot of things happening here and a lot of little snapshots and snap-it shots of quotes that have been misquoted as well, so we need to be careful. However, there has been a lot of disagreements here regarding this. The SEC lacks authority to regulate any of them until and unless it is proven in case in court. So yeah, are we going to see more lawsuits? I will come on to lawsuits in a minute. But the fundamentals as well of the regulation kind of spurt that we get in. The IMF prefers to regulate crypto rather than banning it. Well, obviously, come on. Now, this is kind of actually quite good news realistically because the IMF, whether you love it or hate it, it's one of those things where they can't ban it, but I am all for regulation. I am all for the element of removing the bad actors. A lot of people get confused with the fact of decentralized versus lawless. Decentralization is a barrier where you have no one element of failure, one element of control, where it will act upon its own accord. And to look at Bitcoin and how it runs and how it works. Lawless is the opposite, where, I can do anything I want because it's decentralized. No, you can't just scam people. You can't just take people's money. You can't rob people. You can't just do whatever the hell you want and revert the chain back to steal money. It's a huge factor, right? So with that being said, if we've got better regulation to protect me, you, companies, everything else around it, it's good. We want cryptocurrency to become a financial instrument as an alternative method for fiat, for the stock market, for the FX market, all that kind of stuff, right? We want that. We don't want to be totally wild and different. We want to be engaged within the same practice, which is trading money, using money, and using it as a medium of exchange. So yeah, I'm all for this. And for me, you can see here, first objective is to differentiate between central bank and digital currencies, essentially. You know, you've got to do it in the right way and the right manner. Moving on to the rigged system, which I do believe is rigged, is Ripple will probably, definitely 100%, I think this as well, will lose this lawsuit. The reason why I say it will lose because the SEC do not give a shit. Let's be honest here. Sorry if you're a hardcore XRP fan, and I have nothing against XRP. I think it's, you know, if you're thinking of an asset, I think it's probably one of the best to use for moving money. Never really fall into the narrative of it going to the moon and stuff, but In terms of what it is, fantastic. However, I'm a little bit worried that the SEC are just going to go, well, whatever, and just do it anyways. Look what they've done to Kraken, look what they've done to other cryptocurrencies in the past, and on a very, very fishy kind of situation. So it's very, very important to know. But there you go, news done. Some technical analysis. I want to explain the simple lines of what that top indicator is. Now, I said it before, if you want the full tuition of this, go to my Patreon. It's also on Learning Crypto as well. So, education. On the screen, you can see here my website, my course, right? I teach. If you like what I do, you can learn from me and Gaz as well and the rest of the team. Pretty awesome community. Anyways, moving back to this. Simple. This is to do with money flow. It is dominance. If you've watched my channel for years, you'll know I am a big advocate of dominance. Bitcoin dominance, I was talking about that in 2018. I was talking about it in 2019. No one was talking about it. All of a sudden, yes, I've been around that long. Unfortunately, I don't have the followers as the big guys anymore because I speak my mind. However, the fruits of this, if I re-invert it, is if this goes up, it is bad. If it goes down, it is good. We have had a period where we've been going from 4%, 3% into stables. That basically means that money is in the market. We went all the way up to over 15% from in the market to out the market. Hugely important. So when we factor that in, and if I invert it back to the normal way, you can see how the market in decline has been the bear market. What's happened? We've actually broken structure. We're actually above this level and we're looking still 11%, still fair value in my opinion. So to understand the market, you need to understand where the money is going. You want to be in the market for as long as possible. You want to be out the market as long as possible too. It's very, very important. This is a high time frame stuff, by the way. So hope that helps. And you can draw this onto many big cap coins and you can see how important the metric is. It works very, very well. Anyways, Bitcoin is currently bullish. Didn't think I'd say that. And I know I have asked you questions. Is Bitcoin bullish or is it bearish? Now, why is it bullish? We've broken structure here, big breakout, boom. We created a new high and we've broken out a load of levels of structure. We then did a nice little bullish retest of levels of support and we created a higher low. And guess what? We created a new high. And what have we done here? Yes, it's looking quite neat and tidy. Look at this time frame here. Hello, it's looking neat and tidy. What about this one? Look at this candle here. So, are we going to continue going to the upside? Well, maybe, right? We've got to look at that as a factor. What if we are just pulling back quite nicely into the 618 levels? And what if we are just going to go and retest 30k? In my opinion, I think 30k is a genuine possibility if we do break above this level. Obviously, 25k looks like a stumbling block, but we've got to think to ourselves, right? There's a massive gap here, huge gap here, right? And I've talked about this in previous videos. It's a monster. That is, in my opinion, short squeeze territory. So bear that in mind. So if you are long or if you're spot long, whatever, which is obviously what I am, yeah, we may well get a nice little reward potentially. But either way, right, I look at this as an area of interest regardless. We might be ranged in this region too. So bear that in mind. It's not as black and white as we think. There's a lot of other factors, but I want to explain those other factors in a second because I think it's important. But let's talk about the thumbnail title of this video, the bull market kind of 2024. We're coming close to 1 year away approximately to halving. Halving, hello. You know, you get an idea, roughly around a 1 year. This will vary, this will change due to the block speed and the sizes and all kinds of stuff regarding that. So it is variable. However, every single year, every single time that we do this, things change all the time. So if we go back in time, for example, and we go back down to, bear with me, let me just go, So the previous halving, hello, around here, right? So the 2020 halving cycle, as you can see, we had COVID crash and we boom. It's important to note these, right? Again, if we go back to 2016, again, similar sort of situation. Every single halving is a reaction. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to be a definite or whatever, but when you just zoom out and look at the data, it's always going to be there. The halving hype does happen due to scarcity. Now, even if we trundle along for a while over the next 6-7 months, we're going to start getting hype into early 2024. Everything so far has been following the same pattern. All we've got is a past data to kind of go on, which is fine. And if you're a trader, probably doesn't affect you. If you're an investor, you should probably take note here. You should be looking at all the dominances, all the kind of supplies of stablecoins, where the money's going, what the investment sentiment is. Now, the investment sentiment for a lot of time is like anything. When it's red, it's crap. When it's green, it's amazing. When it's red, you should be looking at opportunity. When it's green, you should be looking at converting that into cash. Not saying tomorrow, but in the future, you get the idea. When everyone's pumping, everything's going crazy, there's an opportunity there for you to make money somewhere. And usually the people that have already made money have already bought when it was at the deep, dark, horrible places where no one was here, right? Let's talk about it. My YouTube channel, for example, right, over the course of this year, and certainly this period, has just been losing subscribers, belt-fed losing them, right? Now, over the last few weeks, it's been growing again. Makes you wonder why. People are slowly taking notice again. The stronger Bitcoin is, the more the consumer confidence will grow in the rest of the ecosystems, right? Bitcoin is king. However, it's not got the amazing returns. It does if you accumulate it correctly. It does if you are taking profit into cryptocurrency or via cryptocurrency into BTC, for example. But ultimately, yeah, people want altcoins. So let's talk about them. Let's talk about altcoins. The entire total market cap here, let's talk about the total, including Bitcoin. We're still at a really nice level. With bounce, it's looking good. The total too, when you look at just altcoins, is still looking okay. We're at a level of interest and we've potentially flipped this, which could be very, very interesting. And when we look at the other altcoins, it's all very similar. It's looking good. There's not a big discrepancy. The reason why there isn't one is because the BTC dominance hasn't really moved much over the last few weeks. Therefore, we're waiting for something to happen. In my opinion, the next bull cycle will probably give us a 20% BTC dominance. That's because altcoins are strong. You can see how the roadmap has changed massively from altcoins into, obviously, you got to think one BTC, like as an asset, as a coin, as an ecosystem, versus everything is mental, right? So when we've got 30,000 coins versus one, 20% of the whole of the market is Bitcoin, is huge still. So it could be very, very interesting. This could be just a BTC consolidation range and obviously melt lower. So yeah, it could be very, very fun. But let's talk about the bullish scenarios. BTC has been bullish, or not, I wouldn't say bullish, but holding its own very, very well when the dollar is bouncing. Talked about it before, the dollar is important. We've got a few things this week that could affect the dollar. But when we're looking at the overall picture here, when we're looking at these higher time frames, the dollar has been ramping up massively. It dumped massively. And I wouldn't even put into consideration that BTC pumped with this. BTC only started pumping from the 1st of January pretty much, right? But what has happened over the course of the last few weeks is the dollar has been bouncing quite significantly. And guess what? BTC has just been like, yeah, whatever, it's been fine. We're not dumping, we're not doing anything drastic. We're already down, 2,000 from that localish top sort of area, which is pretty impressive considering the fact that we've done a massive pump from 15k to that point. It's holding well. Another factor as well is this. Gold. I've said before in previous videos, we are following gold. Then we stopped following gold. And gold has been boom. Could be setting up for a monster run, by the way. Just got to put that out there. But if this bounces, what the fuck does Bitcoin do? So it's looking relatively decent at the minute until something fundamentally changes. And I know there's people that are bearish, I know there's people that's bullish. But for me, I'm pretty bullish right now because I think in the grand scheme of things, those metrics are big alone. But at the end of the day, we have broken structure and it is a bullish structure at the moment. Even still, when you zoom out on altcoins, there's still some fantastic assets out there that are really low. And, I know people took the piss when I was like, well, I've put my profit back into the market, I'm happy to sit. People are like, why are you doing that? We could go lower. If we go lower, we go lower. But at the end of the day, the metrics are telling us that maybe the bottom is in. Maybe that bottom is fully in. We've had that capitulation of FTX going belly up and all the Genesis stuff and all the other lawsuits and all the other stuff that's happened. How much pain do you want? And that's where you got to ask yourself a question. And this is why I teach people to try and be in the market at the right time and be out the market at the right time. This is why I like to teach people, to show people my narrative. But at the end of the day, no one's an expert, right? I'm definitely not an expert. I'm just a normal guy, just normal gadgy, whatever. And yeah, I do enjoy this. But at the end of the day, we have created a high into a higher low. And yeah, looks like we're doing the same thing. If we do go and retest the 25k and it breaks and we go higher, I think people will start to return. I think people will genuinely get excited. Personally, I wanted to just chill out and relax and just range for a while, just to chill. I'm staking stuff. I'm making massive money every single day just on-chain staking. If you want to know more about that, I have guides in my Patreon. I know I get a lot of comments, where do I stake? So join my Patreon. I will literally show you where to go, how to do your research to find how to get the best APIs and how to be validated. It's all there. But you need to understand, you need to do it for yourself, right? If you're doing your research on any asset, you should know how to hold it, how to stake it, and how to do other things with it, right? But that's today's video done. It's a rather long one today, but I hope it helps you. But yeah, in terms of weekly market sentiment, there's nothing that jumps out to say, fuck, we're going to die. So fingers crossed it stays like that. Anyways, if you enjoyed my stuff, leave a like, comment, hit the bell button if you want to see more. And yeah, see you later. Have fun.